Good afternoon. I'm Mutgren, and welcome to Dad's Old Shop. I am continuing the Bellows build after getting some progress done, and a little bit of, I actually had some prep time, so I got to do some examples of pieces of things that are going to get done today. So I have a couple hours, so should be able to get the second level basically on here. I might have to do some fine tuning, but there's a second level that separates, it goes this way. It separates the bottom intake from the outflow, which just comes out of the top. So this is a Blacksmithing Bellow. I can't lift it up because it is 3.5 feet long. And my setup isn't that big, as you can see by all the mess up here. So since last time we had nailed down the flap there, I had found some really thin pieces of shim stock and just popped that on here. Just something light to help keep the, I need to trim it just to make it a little bit nicer, but just to keep the flaps extended so they don't curl over themselves if I get a air intake that kind of knocks it loose or makes it fray. This will keep it in rough alignment, so up, down, up, down. And this will bring air in, and then when I'm compressing it, or when it's compressed, air will come out through the mid-level, exit out the top, and it'll press down on this, creating that seal. So for the second layer here, I'm going to do it in 2 pegs. Because I think it's probably the easiest way to do it. There we go. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking it. Let me move it here. So, and if I need more, I can always adapt it here. But there'll be pegs that stick up. I'm still kind of in the way. There's also a hole for one here. But they're going to stick up, and we're going to angle them so that it can hold the piece. I already drilled one of the holes with this huge auger bit. This is actually my great-grandfather-in-law's old auger bit. And I did some sharpening work on it, so it's not an easy bit to get through, and it's really meant for more timber framing or like big framing than it is work like this. But it's the only 3/4 bit that I have and that I could find easily that works with manual tools. Because I have Forstner bits, but you need a power drill or drill press. Although it would be funny to try to use a Forstner bit by hand. I'm sure that looks really silly. So once I get them in place, I've made a marker here. Oh, there's a made a marker here, which is just a nail put in the end. And that'll mark the spots where I have to drill on the middle piece there. And we're not trying to drill through the middle piece. We're probably going to, at least a little bit from the spur here. Spur, not spur. The drill bit at the tip that holds it in place. I forget the name of it. But, you know, like, it's hard to find bits this big, this long that don't do that. So we're just going to try to get through. Like, I fully expect it. So, like, for instance, this is the one for the other side that's already cut, but I just put a hole in there so that we can also screw it to the bottom there. So just a pilot hole there. And these are just poplar dowels. They're kind of just what I had from a old project that will be coming back soon. I don't know if I actually did it on stream. I don't think I did it. So many years ago, when my child was just about to be born, I was like, I wanted to make something for them. And I thought of alphabet blocks, and I did my hand at them, and it's one of those things where the juice is not worth the squeeze. But, you know, but what I got to was rocking horses. So I do have a rocking horse that she used a couple times. She liked it. I was very happy with it. And then she shook the crap out of it and damaged it. So I had to go fix it. And by the time I got around to fixing it, it was too small for her. So it's been languishing in the basement, waiting for somebody to have a child that will be big enough to utilize this. And that opportunity came. So in a few months, probably closer to a year, I'll be giving that back to somebody. But I do have to secure the top of it. But it's made out of hard maple and poplar. It's very nice. I enjoy it. It's like an Amish style. It's kind of my first experience with wood carving. I'm also going to start the shop back here. I do apologize. Hopefully the noise dampening helps. I will say turn down your headphones or take them out for like 5 seconds. And like, I'm going to count down from 3 and I'm going to turn it on. It will only be on for about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're good. We're good. I might use hand tools, but doing that by hand is annoying, and I don't want to get splinters. Again, I don't know if you can actually see it in the camera, but I did get splinter from plywood on this project, which is the first woodworking splinter I've ever gotten. It's just like right there in a little tip. It's not worth taking out, not worth digging into the finger for. Not causing any problems. So eventually I'll get it out. Yes, I do realize that these are not aligned, and I just I'm just gonna live with it. As long as they elevate the platforms to create the separations, it's fine. And what I am going to do is I'm going to just drill the pilot through. Oh, okay. So this one might not actually get... I mean, I should. But this is hitting one of the stretchers on the very bottom. So I just have to make note of that. All right, that's probably good. Let me give it the good old feelsy. See if I actually broke through. Yeah, I broke through. Okay. So this will just help make sure those things don't move. And get out of there. You don't belong. I'm done with you. All right, so those are the 2 holes. And I'm also going to show, because I'm going to also do a hole in the bottom of this here. Like the best practice is to have like a V-shaped thing for your when you're clamping round stock, because round stock doesn't want to sit flat in a vise because it's 2 flat surfaces. It wants to rack. This actually holds it pretty conveniently. This is like a this is a sanding block, but it seems to have a round here. So while it's not perfect, as long as I don't crush the sanding part of it, it's actually not bad. For just something to hold it for, you know, a minute or two while I just figure out where the middle is and yada yada. It's going to use this. We're just going to do it nice and quick. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be directly centered. All right, that's good enough. And perfect. And then we're just going to dig out the pilot. Sorry, you might not see it, but just using an old egg beater drill. This is from the 50s, I believe. I have a picture somewhere that I have a lot of my vintage stuff all just laid out, and I have dates for it. This is, I tend to think of things in periods for vintage woodworking tools. There's like intro industrial, which is, you know, late 1800, or there's early industrial, which is anything before like 1880s. I only have like 2 things from then. Then you have, you know, industrial period, which is like 1900s, 1890s, to about the 20s. Because in the 20s, like after the teens, like after World War I, you see a lot of changes in producers, because you had a lot of places that got military contracts and then lost them and then found they weren't viable, or there was just a demographic shift, people moving, obviously because, you know, that and a big old flu pandemic. So your tool makers in 1910 are a lot different than they are in 1930. I mean, like your big ones are still around, but like they're either branching out into their own brands, getting consolidated. Like there's a lot of change. Then you have like your Depression era tools, which honestly are actually pretty good. You would think that Depression era tools would be cheaper because of the Great Depression. They weren't. There were some, of course, cheap ones, but at least these surviving examples, the ones that I've had, are great. They're kind of the sweet spot, I think, at least for me, because while I do woodworking that is, you know, how would I say this? I don't want to say primitive, but you know, it's more turn of the century. I'm more turn of the century into the 20s because I live in a house that was made in 1920. So we're looking at more things like that than doing old period pieces. This is one of the older period pieces, but I'm using just more modern tools. And then you have World War II tools, and that's a very small segment from, you know, 1938 to 1946, 47, where you get a lot of stuff that is just very cheap because, you know, there was money for military contracts, but those were military contracts, and a lot of like construction tools and carpenter tools weren't there. So like my long plane is a Pexto plane that uses a folded sheet metal frog to hold on to the blade and stuff like that. So it's kind of the cheapest way you could go about it. And you know, the tools are still usable, but they're definitely lacking fit and finish. And then you have your post World War II tools, pre-70s. because the 70s is when you start seeing, like mid 70s is when you start seeing the acceleration to offshoring. But even in the period post World War II, a lot of tool brands really take a hit in quality as electrics become more common. And that speed is valued over the convenience, because, World War II, electrification was common in a lot of places, but it wasn't necessarily mandatory everywhere. So having stuff that didn't need electricity was more, it made it so you go to a job site and be out of luck. But by the, 50s, 60s, it was a lot more common. So you start seeing stuff that was in the shape of familiar tools, but just didn't have the same fit and finish. And some things are good. Like, I have this plane here. This is a Craftsman 1950s plane. And this is good. This is just a good plane. I don't have any complaints about it. I mean, I do have a complaint, but that's probably due to wear and age. But, the tote is loose on the bottom. I need to figure something out about that. But, like, it's made out of wood. It's not made out of Bakelite or anything like that. It's a full frog. It's, one piece. It's not a folded frog. It's adjustable. The blade is, good quality. And, the lever cap is a screw for this. That's something you lose. There's a big old knurled screw back here for adjustments. Like, it is just a good tool. And comparing it to a 1930s, which I do like this better, but oftentimes I reach for them and they're interchangeable. This is a Miller's Fall. It is slightly smaller, I believe. Not in blade width. It's less tall a little bit, but has, ebonized wood handles. Like, it's good. It is good. It is very similar in fit and finish. Like, maybe the knurling on this knob is a little bit nicer, but for all intents and purposes, they're the same tool. So, I'm going to stop them on tool demos here and get back to the fit and finish of this. So, I'm going to go grab the top here. Let me remove this because we're not going to need this for a little while. Also, these are like weird bits. Like, I was given a belly drill that my father-in-law was like, oh yeah, you can use it with all these. You can't use this square tapered shank with that. Like, it just does not have the fitting. But this Miller's Falls bit base does. Is it the greatest hold on these things? No. No, it wants to come loose. It doesn't like existing here, but as long as you're not, like, working upside down, it'll probably be fine. Sorry, I was twisting the wrong way. I was talking too much. VTuber and streamer talking too much? Who could have thought? Alright, I'm just getting that cinched up. Okay. Alright, hang out there. So I'm going to be a bit ginger because I don't want another splinter. Even though I've sanded this thing so much, it is reclaimed plywood that was outside for a year. Just it just wants to kind of die. And I respect that, but I don't like it. So this is that piece here. Oh God. I was just looking because I'm like, I'm going to hit my mic. So we're just going to plop that right there as an example. It is going to hit my mic. Can I twist this without having to do the readjustment? Okay. So we are going to grab our bits here. Just make sure that it is the right size. Making sure that this is standing straight up. Or straight up as I can get it. Perfect. And then this one. I know I'm stabbing, I'm kind of getting like an area of where it needs to be. But once again, this is fine. This is not going to be a refined product. Because they're spaced so differently, one is significantly higher than the other. But if I drill through them, then I could just kind of adjust there and just do something else. Yeah, that's probably the move. I'm also going to need to fill in this spot, but actually, I should have done it like this. Dang it. Dang it. Or like this here. Yeah, to like here. Dang it, okay. All right, and then other side. I'm just looking, do I like it higher? No, I like it lower. Because it just needs to be enough that air can get in. Actually, it probably needs to be higher, up to here, so that it can get a good draft. Yeah, it needs to be the higher one. Okay. So we're going to take this out here. This splintery thing. And now we look for the stab marks. So there's some stab marks. We're just going to mark them in blue. I should have 4 patterns, and then we'll figure it out from there. 1, 2, 3. Did these all go in the same place? I think so. All right, well, that one's easy. And these are on the far side. This is on the close side. I guess it makes sense that I would hit the close side more. Oh, no. I see him. I see him. Got some bunches here. I think this is the right one, though. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna cheat. I'm gonna put a little hole through here, and we're gonna see if when we do this, the hole goes over where we think it should. Yeah, that's about there. All right, so that's the right hole. Perfect. Now I do I'm dreading doing this because this is not going to leave a nice hole. This is going to leave a terrible hole. We're going to try to go from both sides, but I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. I think whatever we do, we're going to get a hole with a bunch of tear out just by the way that plywood works. And also the nature of this seasoned plywood. All right, we're going to go that far, then we're going to back it out. Oh, God, so much blowout. Oh! It's a gore scene. Oh, it's a massacre. All right, then we're going to flip it and go from the other side and, live it out. Try not to gasp at the ugly hole. Also try not to break those stretchers, otherwise I have to glue something else on them and it looks sillier. All right. I guess I want this raised a little bit because I don't want to start drilling into the rest of it. Let's just use you as a spacer. Ow. No, hold on, I need to check something. My apologies. Sorry, my friends look like they went to the same Renaissance fair and didn't realize it. So one is now stalking the other. Which is hilarious. I love that. All right, I'm through. All right, get off. Oh, what a disgusting hole. There's different auger bits I could use. Not that I have them, but there's different auger bits that leave nicer finishes. This is a rough and ready bit. I hate it. I need to stop thinking about it. I'm sick. I have to file these holes anyway to make them the right angle to hold those things. I'm sorry. Want to use the shop vac again? Count down from 3, and then in 10 seconds it'll be fine. 3, 2, 1. Oh no, I knocked over the collection. I have a 2-phase system of a shop vac that is connected to a cyclone separator. And then that cyclone separator goes into a bag with a HEPA filter. Because, especially when you're working on old metal stuff, it could always be lead. So, just helps. Peace of mind. Also, I dealt with a lot of concrete dust when I first moved into this house, when the basement would flood every storm, because I would use a lot of concrete. Have to break out stuff to allow better fits for it. I'm just cleaning up the hole over here. Sorry for the camera. It's not gonna move. We're doing ugly work. Nobody wants to see it. All right, come on. There's a little lip here, and it's just riding the lip. It's not cutting the lip. Oh, this is so frustrating. Stop riding this lip. I gotta go from the other side, I think. Try not to hit my setup. All right, there we go. Ooh. Where'd my computer mouse go? There it is. My setup is just inherently chaotic. I just yeet stuff everywhere. Eventually I'll get a system. That's the plan once I get this project done, is to reorganize the shop, because it is overdue. Oh no, you're literally just riding this whole thing, aren't you? If I can get it to start at a different... Well, I heard some cutting there. Alright. I need you to back out. Thank you. Ooh, I put my finger in there and immediately got squeamish. Okay, so these are going to be a tight fit. That's fine. I can always... Sanding is not free, but it's pretty close to it. I'm just trying to get in there a little bit just to make the hole a little bit nicer. If I was using power tools, this is probably where I'd use a drum sander, like one that goes on the end of a drill that just has a circular sanding disc. Just hit it around the edges, be done with it. Not that this is much more work, but... delicious tear out. Don't forget to feed the tear out fairy. They get hungry on their excursions to make your projects take a little bit more time. Alright, so just going from both sides. Trying to get any loose stuff so that it doesn't sneak up on me. Because I'm just going to make the thing a little bit smaller. I'm not going to super worry about the making the hole bigger. I'm just going to make the peg a little bit smaller by just sanding it until my hands kind of burn. The burn will kind of let me know when it's done. And also, if I can properly taper this, like, I shouldn't need actually to fix this besides the taper. And I guess glue just to make sure it doesn't bounce, but if I get this into a tapered hole, it'll wedge itself. And at the end of the day, that'll be easier on me. I like watching firearm videos, not necessarily for... I mean, firearms history is cool, but just the mechanical know-how and stuff that goes into it, like using feed ramps and camping surfaces. Oh god, the dust got in my throat. I was about to say it tastes bad, but it actually doesn't. Poplar was actually kind of pleasant as far as dusts go. Although sanding kind of sucks, because it's like... One of the reasons why I do hand tool woodworking is to avoid dust. And sanding is the one hand tool thing I can do that gets me the same fine, awful dust that power tools does. And I have a fan blowing this way, just to keep me cool. So, things get blown around. All right, I'm going to feel to see if it goes through the hole. All right, it wants to. It's close. Like I could shave it, but then I feel like, I don't know. We're going to give this another minute or so of trying this, and then we'll see about alternate ways of just getting this done. Just so I can get this done while I have energy. Because that is my greatest factor, besides just like having time. I usually have time on the weekends. It's just energy to do a longer stream. Also, a big thing that's helped is putting rubber mats on the floor. My floor is concrete, and while it has nice vinyl flooring over it, it still is a lot. Okay, cool. That's doing what I needed to do. Perfect. It's a slight taper. I didn't measure it. I just kind of did it until it worked. All right. Yeet. Yeet. Skirt. Skirt. Yeet. Skirt. All right, so we're going to get that up. Don't stab me. And then we'll figure out the other side. If these don't align, I might have a conniption. Okay, they align. Is it perfect? No. No, not at all. Yeah, I'm going to have to file the hole like I thought. Ugh. Alright, but we're going to just get started on the other one. Come on. Where's the hole? There we go. Alright, so I'm going to be kind of looking for the deepest, biggest... Actually, it looks like it's stuck, so... Ah! That edge just like... Right there, just like... all picked up on my hand. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a huge splinter. Oh, that was scary. I didn't want that. All right, well, the interesting part is it also tells us the angle that it wants to go in, as does this. So, oh, we were right on the mark. Wait, this was the mark. So we were a little bit off, sorry. It is right here. Do. So we're just going to start drilling. I'm going to actually try to canter the hole a little bit. Just to see if the brace will follow that. The closer it is to the angle that I need, the less filing I have to do. All right, here we go. Back with big old bit brace. Big man bit brace. Big man bit brace. Here we go. I was like, why am I doing it all the way from up there? Honestly, this is a slightly shorter bit brace. It would be slightly more usable. Now, actually, by going at an angle... Oh, here we go. Here's the hard part. I put something in it that is movable. Can you stop rolling for just like a second, please? Thank you. We might get better cutting. Okay. All right, back that out, and then we're going to come from the other side. There goes my tape measure. Going the other way. I'm just hooking this up in the air. So we're going to be coming down. So kind of like this here. Okay. Like, this feels like a clean... Oh, God, stop moving. Oh, please, stay with me. Okay. All right, so it started to run away a little bit, but that's fine. I understand. I, too, sometimes want to run away. Close, okay. So we're also gonna just sand this. These are the right sides here. Where'd you go? There you are. How did my wood get a splinter? Oh. All right, we're just going to let you tumble a little bit while I first get this nail out of here because I don't need it anymore. It's just going to stab me. Pliers. I said the power word. Where are you? Up here. Well, I don't want pliers, but I do have these tin snips. And tin snips are kind of like pliers if you use them wrong. There we go. Tin snips, a tool that as a kid I did not think I would use a lot. As an adult, I had a lot more use out of tin snips than I thought I would, considering how little tin I snip. Alright, so we're just back in the sanding mines. Now, this would be faster if I had lower grit sandpaper. This is not going to... Okay, here you go. Here's some 100. So let's say this is going into a surface, and in fact, it kind of having a rough surface is going to be better for the glue. So I just grabbed what was close, but I didn't think. Like if you don't think. I gotta do more social media posts. I'm terrible at that. I'm just like, today I'm sleepy. And also, there's just the inherent, like, social fear of, what do I put stuff out there and I look like a weirdo replying to myself? It's like, I am a weirdo. Why do I care? As I've espoused before, people on the internet aren't real. They can't hurt me. Except you. You're real, definitely, sure. You're watching. You're definitely real. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not real, but don't prove otherwise. Internet people aren't real. Because if they were real, you would see less weird takes. Like soggy fried people, like that has to just be like a war in America. Like, how could you? I was watching somebody who has a collection of vintage pencil sharpeners. It's like, I love these. I can't have these in my house. My child will put their fingers into them. And I'm like, oh man, your kid is dumb. And no, I think my kid is smart. I just remember what I was like at that age. And how many of my fingers I put into pencil sharpeners. I only hurt myself really once, but not an excuse. It's not a good idea. It's up there with the worst ideas. Okay. All right, we're just going to pump you up here real quick and then bounce you down. Find the hole. There's the hole. And then all right, I'm just going to take a look-see from back here to see where everything's going. All right. So, I'm caught on a wire. There we go. So, some of these holes should be farther back. There's two ways to fix this. More taper or... More taper is the easiest way. I'm going to do more taper. So we're going to get out something I can carve with. Is this knife sharp enough, or has it been on the table too long? No, it's adequate. All right, so we're just going to do a little bit of push carving as it ruins my thumb. Oh, geez, this is not sharp enough for this. Also, poplar's just not a good whittling wood. Like, it's fine, but it's hard. I once tried to, I had a vacation down in Florida, visiting some relatives, and I'm like, I'll learn to whittle down there. And I'm like, what can I do? All right, I'm going to bring this scrap wood that I have, and I'm just going to see something out there that inspires me, and I'm just going to whittle it. So, you know, not being from the South, I saw an alligator, and went, oh yeah, I'm going to carve an alligator. I have the basic shape. I haven't finished it because my stupid self brought hard maple, And that is, I bruised my fingers. Because it's hard as heck. Like, just the forcing it to push through and get little cuts and everything. So I have the basic form, I just don't have any detail on it. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of sandpaper. Just to round it over a little bit. But we've taken it down quite a bit. One of my friends reminded me, I went in many years ago, this is almost 8-9 years ago, I won an auction for Dwarven Forge Dungeon Terrain. Excuse me, and it really makes me want to run a TTRPG. Just to use that. I have a friend, and I'm just like, I will bring this over if you just, like, let me know when you roughly need this, so we could set it up and use it, because I think I've gotten 3 uses of it out of all those years, and while I got it for a bargain, like $1,000 worth of stuff I got for like $300, I still would like to get more use out of it. Sorry, I'm just aligning here. Alright, now we're going to do the same with the other peg. Alright. 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 As my wife likes to imitate Linda Belcher. Understandable, but gets stuck in my head. That's not fair. So, just doing this, going downhill, keeping it away from my body, away from my knuckles, I'm just going to look at something else real quick. Sorry, 1 second. So there's some life changes I need to make, so I'm just observing stuff as I go. So, just to see the progress of those things. Right now, it's not in any serious phase. Well, serious in that I have to change things about how I live, but, like, nothing that is inherently or imminently dangerous. You know, it is the epitome of eat too many cheeseburgers and you'll die. It's like, you're probably fine now, but when you eat that too many cheeseburger, you'll die. Die forever. Thanks, bye. Part of it is, like, I'm seeing what food I eat impacts me in certain ways. So, like, I had a wrap today for breakfast, like that English muffin that I posted there with egg, that perfect egg. It's nice and running, nice dippy egg. For lunch, I had a wrap and some chips. And I'm like, this is going to be a lot. This is going to make numbers go up. And I'm looking at it now, the number ain't going up. So it's either the sensor that I have being wrong, which I kind of doubt, or there's a compounding variable at play. It's been very good at other things. So, once again, this is not anything important, not anything life or death at this time. I don't even necessarily need this meter. I just went and saw my doctor, and they're like, hey, I have this. This is a sample. You can, like, try it. You don't need it. But, like, would you want to just do this to help you visualize the impact of your lifestyle and changes on it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Oh, this wants to be significantly taller. But this one needs to go significantly lower. Yeah. Okay. Make sure there's enough room to breathe. Okay. Like, here is good. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it and put a crosspin in it. No, don't do that. Oh no, it's totally out now. Nope, it actually just wants to be taller. Alright. It wants to be like an inch taller. Man, I'm really messing up the front of this. So, this is where we go to Plan B. Plan B is through movie magic and the power of buying more of them, I have more 3/4 inch now. I went to Home Depot specifically today in case I messed this up. Like, I guess I could lower this, but like, then it's not gonna have a lot of room to expand because it should, the flap here I messed up, should be opening towards the back, not towards the front. Well, no, it does open. No, I did it backwards. Which, once again, should be fine. Should be fine. We'll see if it's not. If it's not, I have to fix some stuff. But, yeah, so we're just gonna chop this here. I'm just gonna make a mark. We're just gonna do this really freehand. So I have a feeling I'm gonna be taking this apart pretty often. So that's why, like, when I was thinking of glue and pegs, like, it's like, these are easy to take apart. Maybe it'll look enough like a bellows that the next one I can get a new thumbnail of this bellows. I just have to improve my photography skills because they're bad. So I'm just cutting this one-handed and they did a great job. Another fun news, I do have Starfinder tonight. One of my players had to cancel, but that's fine, that's why. We actually got 5, I think, tonight. So we have quorum, which is 4. It's actually a system my GM for my Sunday games does. So it seems to be a reasonably successful system. We're getting close to the end of this book. I think we have like maybe one more encounter, or one more set of encounter before they go into the final act. All right, so just gonna pop this in here, see what it does. Oh, this is very tall. Okay, so too tall. It needs to be slightly taller than this one. Right? So maybe I cut like another 1/2 inch. Ah! Get scared when it goes wacky. Jumps. Gonna bite me. And once a Saul tastes human blood, you gotta go get a new blade. It can't be quenched. Human blood's the quenchiest. Alright. There we go. So I'm just going to go get the low grit sandpaper over here, just off camera. And come on back. Taper this and then we'll let it ride. Let's see how it do. Bees what it does. Actually, I'm gonna get my... Where'd my knife go? I got a knife and I don't know where to put it. Oh, it's under there. Okay, so these are oak dowels. And, you know, they do feel significantly harder to cut than the poplar dowels. Oh well. Also, the current war at Foxhole is probably going to end within the next couple days. And I am very excited to get back into it. I took this war mostly off. I started, and then I was like, had some stuff come up. But not going to be nearly as hard because I am going to try to play in a volleyball league over winter. Just some activity. You know, improving my, my physical ability and durability. So I've been doing some bump arounds with some friends just to kind of learn the game, and it's like a YMCA league. So they're like, know the rules of the game and roughly how to play. So I'm gonna give them knowing the rules of the game, and you know, I just gotta hope that the league has a lot of old people. They're just like, man, you have a young body that works mostly. Your knees bend, bro. You're a ringer. You'd think that a dwarf wouldn't be interested in playing volleyball, but dwarf got hops. We're gonna give it a try. I'm not defined by what I can't do, but by what I can do. Also, I gotta watch a bunch of volleyball games so that, like, when people ask me, I don't have to say anime. Because it got me into volleyball, even though there are plenty of people there. Got into it because of anime, but, you know, I have watched Olympic volleyball, and it is pretty cool. I do like it. It is a cool sport. Football is still my first love, but one day I'll be able to watch it again. One day. Jay-Z, please buy the Commanders. Please. Free me. Unleash me. Alright, we're getting close. We're getting oh, actually, hold on. A little bit of twisting, a little bit of twisting. Grab his peg and twist it. Alright. Oh, didn't like that. Alright. So this actually looks pretty even. Let me check it from the front. Okay. Alright, these will definitely do. I'm going to pin these in place. Now let me go get a screw here. Oh, this is going to be a putsy operation here. I'm just gonna drive this in here, just so we can throw a nail in there, just to help keep everything there, and then we'll worry about the bottom, because once we can screw the bottom in, everything will be a lot more stable. These will basically be our little pins. That wasn't a very deep hole. And hammer. And don't hammer my hands. Alright, cool. Ow! Poke myself. Do the same thing over here, just to kind of pin it in place. And then comes the undesirable task of having to flip this thing so we can screw the bottom. I feel like that's the end goal of a lot of hookups anyway. Ugh. Sorry, I'm feeling cheeky today. Alright. Come on up. Sorry, just checking a couple more things. 1 second. I mean, learn the impact of, like, carbs versus, like, type of food. It's been very enlightening. So, I'm not going to go into details of what it is, but you can figure it out. You're smart. You can figure out what I'm talking about. You're smart. Alright, so, actually, I might just, what's the word? I was going to say honey dip, but that's the wrong word. We're just going to lean these off the side where the holes will be, and then we'll do from there. So I got to go get my screws that have wide tops on them. Sorry, I'm just going over to my corner. Oh, that was the wrong plug. That's a fan. I need that. I'm dying down here. It's very hot. This basement gets hot. You wouldn't expect bases to get hot, but mine does. Cabinet screws. The reason why I have them is for reasons like this, because they have big old heads on them that, when affixed correctly, oh no, my terrain. I'll fix that in a minute. Kicked a bunch of foam terrain over. Love that. So these are cabinet screws, and I'm blind. There we go. They have a really big flat head here, so they just are really good at making sure that stuff stays held together when the fastener is what's holding it together. So now I'm just looking for the head attachment for these, because probably use that outside at some point. Ugh. Oh, my knees. I'm going to play volleyball with them. I'm going to play it until my ankles and knees explode, but my knees don't really hurt. Just complaining a little bit. So we're going to... Like, I just want to use a little screwdriver, but I think I'm going to use a bit brace. And sorry I can't get this on camera, but I'm worried if I flip this over, I will not be able to do it satisfactorily. So we're just going to do it the right way while I opine from under the table. It's my new podcast, From Under the Table. And 100,000 subs will go over the table for a special episode. Reveal that I'm still a VTuber. All right. We are going to start with the popular one. Not popular, the popular. I think is a member of the tulip family. I think. I'm just making sure my screw is, in fact, long enough. And it is, in fact, not long enough. Oh, no, this goes in. Okay, I was about to say this is not long enough, but I forgot I dug out a hole here, so it should be long enough. I might have to get this started by hand. You're going to need a bit brace to, like, finish it. Part of it is just this is a long apparatus to do this. So yeah, we're gonna start this with the small one and move on to the bit brace. I should have brought down litters. After I get this part done, I'll probably take a break, and then we'll look at handle material, and I'll kind of put it together. Not actually put it together, but show you what I've actually got so far. Because some of the progress I made off stream, like the hinges and stuff like that. Ooh, almost got my fingers caught in the gears. Too slow, though. You'll get me next time, probably. Oh, actually, I thought I'd need the bit brace. It's actually going a lot better than I thought. As long as it follows into the right thing. It follows the pilot holes. Okay. Yeah, follow the pilot holes. Perfect. All right. All right. Now the second side into the pilot holes. I gotta get me an idle animation just for when I'm off screen. I'm still here. I'm still participating. It kind of looks like I'm dead. Not dead. And your hole is here. Okay, perfect. No, 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 no. You need to stay here and not run away. Okay, now this is going to be a three-handed operation. One hand keeping the peg down. My knee holding the drill here. Whew. Did I get it a little bit? Okay. As long as I got it a little bit, I should be able to get the rest. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt. Not bleeding, but oh, reset that shop sign. Dason's gears, finger stuck in gears. Ooh, almost crushed my nail. See where those black parts are? Yeah, I was going and then I got caught in these open gears. So we need more torque now, so we're gonna go to the big one. I foresaw it. I could see the future of getting hurt. Just like the sun rising, or ow, it's been a bruise. Oh well. Oh well, happens. Okay, so I think I actually have to remove the nail here. I feel like the nail here is actually interfering with the attachment process. Pin snips, help me. Can always get another nail to put in. There we go. Well, that one flew. All right, let's give this the gusto. All right. I gotta go get a clamp or something like that. What's a good clamp for this? I guess I just edge clamp it, right? Actually, let me just hammer this peg down a little bit. There we go. Actually, that should do it, I think. And I just hope I haven't hurt the leather or anything like that. Okay, perfect. All right, engage. All right, it's skipping. It hates it. But we're just going to put the whole weight of the thing on it and just keep it in place. Oh, here we go. We got a slip there, but should be bringing it back in line. All right, that's it. Oh, my thumb went numb. Not the finger that I rolled over, just my thumb. My thumb goes numb sometimes now. That's novel. Neat little feature. Creature feature. Starring the creature. Alright, let me just go get the drill bit that I had here so we can get a nail in there just to, figure it out. I'm trying to... Are you bouncing? Did I knock you out? Oh no, it's a tragedy. How did you get knocked out? Man. Oh wow, you just don't want to exist there, huh? Well, you know what? This sounds stupid. But like, it's not moving. As long as it's like pegged there and it's wedged, it's not gonna move. I gotta stop worrying about it. Yeah. I'll stop worrying about it. What I'm going to do is just cut out this one a little bit. Excuse me. And try to raise this side a little bit. Yeah, cool. We raise that side a little bit. Then we're just going to dig a pilot. All right. And then nail. Perfect. Just gonna. That's kind of all straight. I'm just hammering nails into the sides of these pegs. Can I just flip the camera down a little bit? Here we go. Here, I'll show it on this side. This thing, the taker of fingertips. Alrighty, one more. Okay, there we go, perfect. I'm gonna get a second nail in there just to keep it copacetic. And then the wedge shape of these legs should keep this upright. And I'll probably do something to affix this down here. Whether it's blind drill a hole or something like that, but I'll do that later off stream because I really like how this one's holding. Okay, I tried. But all right, so we got the second layer in here. And like ideally you have another flap here on the, wow, this project has now gotten so big that it is having a hard time fitting on webcam. Let me turn it here, got a demo shot, and we'll put in the thing, and we'll see what we have in the shop that we can use as a handle. Just had to reach really far for that one. All right. So this, oh man, I'm in the way. I'm in the way. All right, we're going bottom corner. So this, oh my geez, has that menu been up the whole time? Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. When did that menu even come up? Go away. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, oh god, it's so embarrassing. I had that the whole time. Oh jeez. So this is the bellows. It is here. This is the outflow, and then that's the hinge array. So I have the top hinge here, for example. This is the top part. Oh my god, I just kicked over everything. So this hinge slots in up here with a pin that should be right here, but I definitely moved, and now I'm not sure where it is. Oh god. I need that pin. Whew. Well, we'll find that pin regardless. So this will go here into there, and then it'll open and close. Once again, too big to show. Jeez. This is like the 4th biggest woodworking project I've done. I don't know if I can adequately do this without breaking down the camera, yada yada. So I'm gonna try to turn it a little bit to give a better view. There we go. But yeah, so this is the front of it, and the top will go whoosh, 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 and will be held up a lot higher than the bottom. So when it sucks in, it will fill in the whole compartment. I was going to fill in the sides, but I don't think I actually need to. I think that will serve enough as a check valve, sort of, just a limiter going back. Because the thing is, you want to make sure all the air goes forward and not back down, but it's still going to go forward because the leather's there. And I want to be lazy, and if it doesn't work, I can redo it. So once we get that all in place, we'll look at handles now. And then the next step will be going to thrift stores and Chinese stores and wherever sells big pots, because I have canvas that we need to first fire resist and then water/airproof. The fire resist will be done by supersaturating it with borax and letting that dry. And then the other part will be done by taking like bees or paraffin wax and then melting it with turpentine and then immersing the canvas in that and then pinning it around the sides of this to make a air resistant seal. And that'll basically be it. So for the top handle, I just want something that like is long enough. I kind of want it to go all the way down to the bottom, but actually shouldn't. Should stop a little bit above that. But something that I can also alter, because it doesn't need to be like a full handle. Like round is always nice. And I do have this dowel. It is a big old wooden dowel that I can probably like scoop out so it sits flat and then use that as a handle. Yeah, I actually thought that was quick. I thought it'd take longer to find the handle. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we did what I thought what I set out to do today, which is unexpected. Usually I don't finish a whole step of a project on stream at once. I do have a little bit of just finagling to make sure that the stands don't move. But like, otherwise, we're pretty good. We're doing pretty well off. I guess because I don't have much else to say, I will sign off for now, and we'll see what the next stream is like. I do want to do more on this, because we're getting close to finishing this, at least Mark 1. But I am also very excited with the progress we made on my summer car. I want to do that too. I want to do everything. I'm spoiled. But either way, thank you for joining me. I've been Mutgren, and hope you had a good time at Dad's old shop.